level of around the world. That's really one thing. But it's actually that broader experience that I think you touched on about how it rounds you out as a person. You get to do things, meet people that are going to be different from you, and it's all in a very open and safe environment. That you can exchange ideas without threats. You can actually work with other people from other cultures. And we've heard your best friend was Maori, and some German students that are now your friends. And that's a really great environment that as a young person to engage with. And I think that that's something that New Zealand can do. Then you've got the broader lifestyle that we talked about, and we heard a lot about the outdoor activities, but also there's a lot of cultural events that you can go to and a whole range of things. I think the other thing that's really important for New Zealand as international students come back into our country, our borders have only recently reopened in the last 6 months, so it's great to have them open, is that you're bringing your culture to our country as well. And so for our New Zealand students, like Alex, for them to understand the wider world, understand how different people from different parts of the world think, speak, how they engage, is incredible learning for a country like ours, and those global connections are just so important. The other thing, I think New Zealand is really making attractive kind of settings so that people can come, they come for their education, but then they've got opportunities to explore our country, to gain some experience in the work environment that allows them then to move on, come home. Nice to meet these ambassadors who have come back to India and creating their new life. So the thing with New Zealand is it's got so many elements to an international education experience, and it's also accessible. And that again came through in the comments that have been made today. So we are really very open, we're welcoming, and we are really looking forward to seeing Indian students come to New Zealand to kind of further the next step of their lives.
Wonderful, thank you, Grant. I think I really learned a lot from this discussion. I already knew, I have to say, quite a lot of it. But it's wonderful to hear people speaking truly passionately. And I think, again, as I said, one of the things that you said was these are friends that you make for life. These are cities that continue to be your favorite places to live and experience. That means so much. And of course, New Zealand is far away, but the fact that this world is becoming smaller, more accessible, that cultures are so entwined, and we have work and friends and families that now live all over the world. It's just wonderful that your borders, as you said, are recently open again, and this is an exchange that we want to promote and further. So it's great, and thank you, Grant, firstly for being here and for sharing that, and to our advocates, to Amit, to Shabana, to Surbi for sharing your perspectives. I think that's me trying to close this session and handing the mic back to you, Jugnu, virtually, so that you can.
Thank you so much, Soha. I think you did a really good job as the interviewer. So that's a new one that you can probably explore.
I can put that on my CV now.
Yes. And was in charge.
Yes, I was in charge briefly.
Interviewing New Zealand delegates.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I think we will now close the session, and we have some media interviews after that. And to all our guests here, please feel free to join us for lunch. And so I will be here for a bit to answer some questions from the media. Thank you very much for being here today and for all of these beautiful conversations that we've had. A big thank you to all our Kiwi ambassadors for coming over and sharing their stories. They were really inspiring for a lot of students like yourselves who are still considering about going to New Zealand and thinking about why. So you really answered those whys really well. And thank you very much, Grant, for speaking to the media and giving us all of that conversations about the delegation and what is the strategy that New Zealand is looking at with, in terms of collaborating more with India. And thank you very much, Soha, for advocating all of that. Thank you very much.
I'm trying to my mic is going up, so
holding on to it.
Abroad for universities और जैसे आप सबको शायद पता है या नहीं पता है न्यूजीलैंड में सिर्फ 8 यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं बट दैन द टॉप 3% ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटीज़ अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड तो एक्सलेंस का स्टैंडर्ड बहुत ही हाई है और जहाँ तक एजुकेशन के बारे में बात करें फर्स्ट इट्स अ वर्ल्ड क्लास एजुकेशन बट विद दैट यू गेट द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अ ब्यूटिफुल कंट्री द सिटीज़ द पीपल द कल्चर जो बहुत ही डाइवर्स है इंक्लूसिव है जहाँ पे आप अपने घर से इतने दूर जा रहे हो लेकिन फिर भी आपको वो घर वाली फीलिंग आएगी और वो लोग आपको वेलकम करेंगे एक माओरी कल्चर जो बहुत ही वाइब्रेंट है तो स्काई डाइविंग आउटडोर स्पोर्ट्स ट्रैकिंग ये सब यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड जो आपके फ्रेंड्स हो जाएंगे लाइफ लॉन्ग तो ये सब आपको न्यूजीलैंड में एक्सपीरियंस करने का मौका मिलेगा एज अ स्टूडेंट एंड आई एम हियर टू एडवोकेट दैट एंड टू इनकरेज पीपल जो इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो अभी सोच रहे हैं कि स्कूल के बाद कहाँ पे जाए पढ़ाई के लिए आई वुड से यू हैव टू एक्सप्लोर न्यूजीलैंड
जी एंड सोहा जी क्योंकि आपने भी बाहर से पढ़ाई की है तो आप बताना चाहेंगे कि जरा कि न्यूजीलैंड एजुकेशन है आपने जहाँ से पढ़ाई की है उसके बारे में कुछ बताना चाहेंगे
मैं बस बोलूँगी
अपने बच्चों को बाहर पढ़ाना चाहता है
नहीं आई थिंक कि मेरे लिए जो खास एडवांटेजेस थे ऑफ अ फॉरेन एजुकेशन वो थी कि हमारी जो बैकग्राउंड थी बहुत ही प्रोटेक्टेड थी दिल्ली में और मैं एक इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का एक हिस्सा थी लेकिन फिर भी बहुत कुछ मुझे सीखने को मिला अपने देश के बाहर जाने के बाद अबाउट माई कल्चर ऑल्सो क्योंकि लोग हमारे कल्चर के बारे में बहुत पूछते थे कि इंडिया में कैसा है वैसा है तो इंडिया के बारे में बहुत सीखने का मौका मिला एज अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ इंडिया गोइंग अब्रॉड एज वेल एज फॉरेन कल्चर्स के बारे में बहुत सीखने को मिला एंड आई फील लाइक इट मेक्स यू मोर अवेयर एज अ पर्सन कि इंडिया के बाहर भी कल्चर्स हैं और हमें एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट करने की बहुत ज़रूरत है एक दूसरे की सुनने की बहुत ज़रूरत है हम सिर्फ बातें करते हैं लेकिन सुनना भी बहुत ज़रूरी है और एक स्पेस है हर किसी के लिए अपने ओपिनियंस डालने के लिए विथ रिस्पेक्ट एंड विथ टॉलरेंस एंड देयर ब्यूटीफुल प्लेसेस ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड तो अगर आपको मौका मिलता है देन यू मस्ट participate in these sort of foreign educational experiences. Yes. Absolutely. When it comes to inclusion and diversity and women, I learned more recently that New Zealand was one of the first countries that offered the right to vote to women. And of course, we all know that they've had women prime ministers very recently as well in positions of power. So the fact is that the culture is very safe for a man or a woman. There is a lot of tolerance. There's a lot of space for you to put forward your opinions, for you to celebrate your culture and express yourself, and people respect that. So I would say that it's a very safe place for women who are looking for further education after school. Absolutely. You said people know a lot about studying in the UK, about studying in America, about studying in Canada, but we had Amit and Surbi and Shabana who spoke to you about their experiences in New Zealand and how after that these countries like Queenstown or Wellington are some of these cities are their favorites in the world and that they've made friends that last a lifetime. And I would say what sets New Zealand apart is firstly, I think it's the most beautiful place in the world and truly a place that is not so touched by a lot of people. I feel like it's sort of retained a sense of pristineness. It's got beautiful countryside and outdoor space, activities that you can do from skydiving to rugby to trekking to these outdoor sort of spas and natural water, warm water springs and things like that. Whereas someone who comes and has lived in a city like Mumbai for so long, these things are so attractive and so natural. It would be a dream to experience that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.